Within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time.
The Chase Shep Show with Shep and Chase.
Super Saturday.
Hey, what up, everybody?
Shep Show.
Chase and
That
Shep
time
Show.
again.
Super Saturday night.
Yeah, that's right. Another Super Saturday that we are not talking about WandaVision. That's
Not
right.
yet. It was debuted yesterday, though. It's
That's
hype.
right.
I like it. I like it. I love it. I can't wait to talk to you.
I know. I can't wait to talk more about it. I'm really pleased.
But this week we got some interesting tidbits because some news did drop with Marvel this week, and
Oh man, a lot.
a little bit of news dropped in the gaming world as well.
Yeah, which is news to me. So I'm excited to hear that news myself. It's always nice to look forward to our own shows.
Right? Yeah, because you're like, oh shit, I'm learning. I'm getting
Like,
learned.
oh shit, I should tune in. I should watch this
shit.
show more often.
Well, let's just dive into that real quick then, man, and get
Yeah,
that
let's
one
start
out of the
with
way.
that. I'm
Because
Batmaned up. Let's do it. Tell me about
definitely Batmaned up. That's actually one of them. So superhero games, we had Spider-Man come out recently, Avengers, and Miles Morales Spider-Man as the most recent one. So not very many, not as many I feel like as when I was a kid, superhero themed games at the
Right.
moment. But we do have a few on DC side at least to look forward to. Suicide Squad, I don't know when that one's supposed to come out. I would assume next year.
I'm definitely looking forward to that one. That's one I'm cool with waiting because I want a PS5 and shit first. Like I want to be able to upgrade my stuff before that one comes out because playing Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS4, I was like, dude, this is gonna be so lit on PS5. It's gonna look so good. And then seeing that trailer for the Suicide Squad, it's called Kills the Justice League, isn't it?
Yep.
Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. When I rewatched that trailer after playing Miles Morales, I'm like, yeah, there's no doubt about it. I have to get that PS5 for this game in all its glory.
So there is one coming out this year, though, I believe, and it's Gotham Knights.
So that's dropping
Gotham
this year,
Knights.
huh?
I believe late this year. But yeah, on all platforms, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PC, if that's your thing. But yeah, Gotham Knights picks up Warner Brothers Montreal's putting it out.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that did our Arkham, which one was it? The one that was like in a weird spot.
Origins?
Yeah, there you go. Arkham Origins, yeah. They're putting it out, continues on after Arkham Knight. So the news that they just dropped though was they said that they're updating the combat systems within it and shit like that. Because you will be multiple players, and they said that there is a 2-player co-op online story mode.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
So yeah, so you can play the story mode online, 2 players. Or if you're like me and you like doing shit solo dolo, there is a 1-player mode that you would switch like back and forth in between another character and yours. I'm kind of hyped for it. Like it's different because finally we get a Batman game that's more centered around Robin, Red Robin, Nightwing, and Batwoman, I believe.
Yeah, I believe those are the 4.
So I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped to play this. I'm hyped to see where they're gonna go with it. Continue on the Batman story, who the main villain's going to be, because obviously in that universe Joker's dead, so we don't have to worry about him. That's one thing that kind of did bother me. Too much Joker.
Yeah, it's definitely same with Batman, very oversaturated.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, it seems Batman's taking a sideline on this one as well.
Yeah, so it's
All the new
interesting to see
characters, so
who
that's
they're going to
nice.
come up, because I watched that trailer when it first came out, but I have not watched it since. So I don't know if it's one centric character that's going to be the main bad guy, or if it's going to be like the Batman rogue left or coming back.
Yeah. I still need to finish. Well, I've hardly even touched Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat Arkham Asylum and City, and I really enjoyed those storylines a lot. and I started Arkham Knight, but the thing that turned me off to it was having to drive the Batmobile so much. Wasn't a fan. I didn't like that. I didn't like the
See,
mechanics of the Batmobile.
the thing
Uh,
that really bugged me about that game, yeah, because I was upset when that game came out. It was only on PS4, and
mhm,
I didn't have a PS4 at the time. I had a PS3, so I was upset. I was like, God damn, I can't
right.
play this Batman game. Like, fuck, I played all the rest of them on release date. I was
Mhm,
so pissed. But got it. Play the game. I think I got it on Xbox One. Just mouth through because I got my son an Xbox One for Christmas, so I made sure we got Batman Arkham Knight as a game for Christmas that year. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And the game actually really pisses me off because I did not like the Batmobile mechanics either, or driving it and doing like the Riddler challenges with it. But you get to a point in the story where it's like it just flashes a message on your screen, complete all the side challenges in order to finish the story. And it's
Mhm.
like, dude, like, no, I don't want to go do the Riddler races and the Batmobile and all this
Yeah,
shit
yeah, yeah.
just to finish the story. So, obviously I went to the tubes and Googled,
How to
not
do it.
Googled,
Yeah.
searched up how to fucking not how to do it, just what was the
Just how
ending.
it
Cause I
ended.
was like, yeah, I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing all those Riddler challenge. I'm not doing it all.
Yeah.
There's just too much in those games.
That was the same thing for me, that like here's this series that I really enjoyed, and then they added this mechanic in there that killed it for me. Literally just killed the game altogether for me. And the same thing happened in Assassin's Creed. I fell out with Assassin's Creed because
The boats.
Assassin's Creed, I played the first three Assassin's Creed games, and those all have the one storyline. Gets wrapped up at the end of three, but in the third one they introduced the boat mechanic, and that was one of my least favorite things about Assassin's Creed 3, which was one of my favorite of that trilogy. I loved Assassin's Creed 3. I loved the setting. I loved all that stuff. But the fucking boats, dude, I was not a fan. So what do they do? Not only do they end that storyline, and by this point, if you don't know how Assassin's Creed 3 ends, sorry. But they kill off my dude and they move forward and just make it all boats. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't even think I've even turned on Black Flag. I don't even think I've actually seen any sort of gameplay for that, just because of those boat mechanics. I've
That's
skipped
my
it. I skipped
favorite
it
one.
altogether.
That is my favorite one out of all of them.
Really,
Yes, I played that one so fucking much. Just
because of
because just because of the I loved fucking just
you
going
love
out
the
on the
boats, huh?
I loved going out on the sea, sailing around and
I
shit
have
because
never liked that.
you could get your guys to fucking do little sailor chants from back then, so they're all doing the yo ho ho and a
Mhm.
bottle of rum shit. And then it's just fun, man. You'd be rolling around and there'd be a storm and a cyclone. You'd have to
Mhm.
like fucking sail around, and then you'd be coming close to like an
It's
enemy
that sailor
post.
in you.
Yeah, no, it really was, man. And I fucked with it hard. Like at first I didn't think I would like it, but then I
I
started
just
playing it.
I
And
just
then once you
don't dig games that are like, here, drive this and fight. And I'm like, nah,
yeah,
fam, this ain't my thing. That's why I'm not very hyped for that new Star Wars game that's coming out. Squadron, I think is what it's called, or something like that. I'm just like, I don't care.
well
They're
see,
making
and
they're
that's what
making
I
a
say.
movie. Patty Jenkins, who the Wonder Woman director, she's making a Rogue Squadron movie. I'll be there for that. I'll watch that. Top Gun via Star Wars, sure, I'll watch that. But I have no desire to play. That was,
Well, that's one of the things that on the subject that game did back in the day. Star Wars Battlegrounds came out on Xbox, the original Xbox, and that shit was so dope, dude. You could just go through hours doing just battles of Star Wars, and then they introduced the second one, which you'd have this awesome army battle, and then the next level you're in the fucking spaceships flying around and shooting, and I
doing the
hated them.
dogfights, yeah. And
I hated them.
that's how I
Could
felt
not do
playing
it.
this last Star Wars Battlefront. I was happy they had a story mode. I really enjoyed the story mode. I whizzed right through it, but every single time, I don't care. As far back as the PlayStation 2 days of Crash Bandicoot, when there's levels and they're like, get in this airplane and do this at the same time. I'm like, no, dude, please no. Like, don't make me do these two things at once. Like,
Chase says fuck no to that.
fuck no. I one or the other. I'll be the gunner or I'll be the pilot, but do not fucking ask me to do both.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
pretty fair. I mean that's how Call of Duty does. It doesn't be like fly this fucking stealth bomber and shoot the enemy planes at
Yeah.
the same time. It's just
Yeah. It's
shoot the
just
planes.
it
Somebody else
turns me
flying.
off.
We got you,
Yeah.
homie.
But
Anyway, we strayed
regardless,
a little far from Batman there, but
yeah,
yes, Batman.
regardless, I am excited to play Gotham Knights. And if I have to trudge my way through Arkham Knight, I will, just for the sake of completionism and saying that I did beat all of them. I will, I guess, or I'll do what you did and just look it up, Wikipedia that shit, and see how it ends. Uh, but I'm super hyped for that Suicide Squad game.
Oh yeah,
That's definitely high up there on my list. Um, and I'm hoping to see some improvement with the Avengers game as well, because I ended up getting rid of my copy, didn't really get any more into it, because I was like, I don't know, I'll just wait for the PS5 version if
right.
you do get the PS5 version, because right now Spider-Man is holding my top spot for these best superhero games. Both of those are two of the greatest Spider-Man movies never made.
I enjoyed the Avengers game. I haven't went back to it in a minute, but because once you finish the story, it's just
Yeah.
what do you do?
Right.
What do you do?
Right.
I'm gonna go back and do old story now.
Yeah. So was there any other video game news?
No, that was it for that.
That was it.
That was it for that. Yeah.
Well, plenty to look forward to.
Yeah, a little bit of a little peek they gave you at what you'll be expecting as far as gameplay goes within it.
That's one thing DC is pretty sturdy footed on. They might be stumbling around on their movie front, but as far as games go, they've been solid for a minute. With the Arkham games and stuff like that, their game universe has been solid, and Marvel is now playing catch up in that arena. I'm very excited to see the
I'd say games
expansion.
and animated.
Yes, and animated. They're just now kind of entering the animated arena on a larger scale.
I'd like to see Marvel get more in depth in that, because DC is fucking killing it.
Well, I don't know if you noticed that list I sent you for Friday Night Reviews movies. There was an animated DC movie on there, the new Batman one, Soul of the Dragon, Batman Soul of the Dragon.
Nice.
And that comes out here in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
So, if we don't do a Friday night review for it, we could always, talk about it on a Super Saturday.
Yeah, I just watched the Justice League War of Apocalypse or whatever. I didn't finish it though, so I don't know how it finished.
That's the second Justice League Dark, right?
Yeah, it's the second one.
I saw the first one, and that's one of the few DC animated movies I did see.
They're good. They're good.
I always hear that. I always hear that the DC animated movies are super solid, and I have a hard time getting into them for some reason. I enjoyed Justice League Dark. I thought that one was all right. Did not like The Killing Joke. Was not a fan of that. I thought that was kind of lame. Especially for a storyline that's hyped so much, but I've been told to actually read the comic rather than, I know the differences. I've heard the differences, and
the Constantine City of Demons is a really good one.
Yeah, I think that one might be on. Is that one on HBO Max? I think it is.
Yeah, it's on there right now.
I'll have to go through and watch a lot of these.
That one was really solid.
Kind of separate. It's still DC animation, but that Harley Quinn show is pretty good too. I need to finish that up.
Yeah,
I think I literally have like 2 episodes left of season 1, and now there's like 3 seasons or something, or they just renewed for season 3. But I need to binge through that because it was hilarious what I saw of it. I was really liking it a lot.
I need to check that out too then.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen none of it yet?
None of it.
Oh, it's fucking hysterical, dude. It's so good. Which
I got a lot to catch on.
This is going to be a great little segue here. So where that is so great is because it's adult oriented. They do lean into the R-rated stuff there, and I think it totally works in favor of a lot of these characters. So we just got news that Marvel is ready to do the R-rated thing, potentially on a few different projects too. Because last night we were talking about Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3
Mhm.
just got confirmed. It is in the MCU and it is going to be rated R, which honestly, I don't know about you, but I was not surprised by this. I was not
No.
surprised by this news. Like, did we all really honestly think they were going to do Deadpool not rated R? Like, come
Well,
on,
I
man.
mean, like the only thing that I had thought was that I feel like Ryan Reynolds could figure out a way to pull off PG-13
Oh,
Deadpool.
absolutely. And I think they're still going to do that when Deadpool goes into other things. Same as they did in the comics, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Deadpool would go through other comics and still be able to be Deadpool and like be tamer, a little tamer, in other storylines.
Just for a
Uh,
little censor beeps over him. That's what I thought because it'd be funny.
so hopefully this opens the door for other characters. I saw on the internet after Deadpool 3 got announced for the official R rating, the one project in particular that everybody is like, oh well, then this better be rated R is Blade. Everybody's hoping Blade is rated R, which I think I'm in that camp too.
It
Uh,
should be.
it should be, and I think I'd love to see them do like a Marvel Knights sort of thing. And Kevin Feige again, another good segue into another bit of news. They asked him about the Marvel Netflix characters and if they were going to bring any of them back. And his response to that, in classic Feige fashion, he goes, maybe, maybe not. It's like never say never. And it's one of those
Right.
things. It's like always with the vague answers, always with the answers that could go one of both ways. But honestly, if Charlie Cox truly comes back for Spider-Man 3, I don't see why the others wouldn't. I honestly feel like the casting was great. All of
Yeah,
them.
I feel
Luke
like
Cage, the Punisher,
yeah,
Jessica
I feel like
Jones.
most of them would come back, but I feel like maybe supporting characters or maybe like
Hmm.
lesser villains that could have been better
Hmm.
in their shows might come back. You know what I
I
mean?
definitely see them focusing more so on the Daredevil characters and the Punisher. I
Yeah.
see I see them putting more focus on them. Um, and then potentially like I could see Iron Fist maybe popping up in like Shang-Chi or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're characters that should be gotten rid of. Like for like Jessica Jones is one of my favorite characters from the comics. Like I enjoy her and Luke Cage's story arc together, where I'm not as familiar with the Wanda Vision stuff in the comics, but I'm far more familiar with the relationship between Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and their whole thing from like, meeting each other, getting married, having the baby, being in the new Avengers. Like, I dug that a lot. And so I was thrilled when I heard that they were doing Jessica Jones and Luke Cage on the screen.
Right.
Granted, I haven't actually finished any of those shows, and some of them I haven't started just because it was hard to keep up. Um, but if they do bring back some of these characters, I would love to see them take the R-rated route with a lot of them uh, from the Netflix show. I mean, they already have it set up that way,
Yeah.
so they
They
might as
really do.
well keep that ball rolling. Because I say look to the comics. That is proof that you can have your R-rated world coexist with your PG-13 one. These are characters that it's like we're gonna watch our mouths when we're with you guys, and nobody's gonna bleed. But when we go back to our story, motherfuckers are gonna die,
Yeah.
and we're gonna call them motherfuckers. Like
Well, I mean, and plenty of characters have done that in the comics, plenty of
yeah,
times, man.
yeah, most
And they've
definitely.
kind of already showed that in Deadpool too, when
Hmm.
when he's with the fucking, when he's always around the X-Men and shit, and even in the first Deadpool, and he's like, I'll try to act all right around you guys, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he won't.
So then I hear two things about this. Venom 2, we're getting a trailer during the Super Bowl.
Okay.
We're getting a trailer at the Super Bowl, which it's probably safe to assume we're going to get a lot of trailers during the Super Bowl. I think that's
Yeah.
safe to say. We're probably going to get a lot of Marvel, a lot of DC. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing a new Suicide Squad trailer.
Seeing a Suicide Squad trailer,
Right.
they haven't put out an
Uh,
official one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they drop that Spider-Man 3 trailer that they've been
Justice
talking
League.
about. Justice League, yeah, because that'll just be a little ways out. Um, and so yeah, I'm sure we're gonna see plenty of superheroes show up at the Super Bowl. So we'll
Yeah.
have plenty of super duper things to talk about that Saturday for sure. The following Saturday after that, Super Bowl Sunday. Uh, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So they're dropping the Venom 2 trailer. That one's for sure during the halftime show, I believe is what the little
Nice.
leaked video said. Another thing this said is that Venom 2 is rated R.
Nice.
Fucking good. Because if it's one thing the first
With
Venom needed
Carnage.
to be, it was rated R. Venom
Well,
felt like a
with-
movie that was holding itself back. You know, like it was like holding its own tongue.
You
It could
can't
been
have Carnage and not have it rated R.
yeah. You know, they did push back Morbius. That was, you
Yeah.
know, but I wonder if, because I don't think they're going to push back Spider-Man 3. You know, I know you said that yesterday, but I don't think that's the case. I feel like this was a deliberate move. And I started thinking about it, and Morbius moved to October, which makes sense because
Well,
it
no, yeah, and like I told
centric.
you, I told you it could hype up Spider-Man coming in December.
And
Good segue into
you
it.
know what I did not fucking think about until today, and that's probably only because until like we got that Morbius trailer so long ago that none of this Spider-Verse news existed yet. In which the news about that, Kevin Feige said that a lot of people were shockingly close with some of these rumors that are going around about Spider-Man 3. So that's encouraging with as much cool shit as we're hearing. But I didn't even think about it because you know we all saw the Morbius trailer and saw the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man on the wall, you know,
Yeah.
and at the time, Spider-Verse wasn't on anybody's minds really. There was like a little bit of it because they dropped Michael Keaton there at the end of the trailer, implying that they were going to start like crossing the Venom like Sony verse with the MCU, and that's all we thought about it. Well, now, you know, Morbius might take place in the same universe as the Tobey Maguire movies. Like that might be a thing. You know, rumors have it that Toby and Andrew are coming back for their own movies and stuff too, past this. Like they're all just coming back. And this is basically Sony's redemption. It's their redemption. And it's just like Sony, Marvel did a lot for you. Don't go and fuck it up. You know,
I did see that they said Tobey Maguire finally signed a deal, so
mhm.
that was
So I'm
recent.
very curious to see what that's all about. Like, especially if Toby's Spider-Man is labeled a murderer in that trailer, like on the wall art. You know, why? Is there something going on concurrently that's very similar to what's going on in
Well, at the
events of Far
time
From Home? And
at the time that the trailer came out, a lot of people said that it was just CGI'd over being Tom Holland Spider-Man.
I hear you, but I don't know. At
To
this
try to
point,
throw it, to try to make it seem, because I think at the time that trailer came out, I think they were still saying like, "Oh, Morbius is just its own thing, like Venom. It's over in its
no
own
motherfuckers
little."
be lying at Marvel in the
Yeah,
best
so
way. In the best
they were
way.
so they're. I think I personally think they were trying to cover up that Morbius, and they shittily did, because you never know, because it wouldn't make sense to use the CGI to make Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but then throw the Vulture in the fucking trailer.
Right. Well,
So
you know,
you never
you
know.
know, everything's a little fucked with the multiverse, as I hear, which we're gonna start finding out yesterday when we watched WandaVision. Uh, but we'll talk more about it next week. Because I recently heard that WandaVision, and this was kind of obvious, that
Yeah.
it's setting up events in Spider-Man 3 as well. And it's like, well, no shit, because WandaVision is obviously setting up the multiverse thing. Like this is obviously the jumping off point for the multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
Uh, and everything we're about to see over the next year that's eventually going to lead up to Doctor Strange 2, you know. Uh and I'm hyped for it, man. I'm here for it.
Well, they dropped some show news too. Did you see that?
For what?
For a lot of stuff, Moon Knight. Little news for Moon Knight I saw today.
The directors, right?
Well, I mean, not even that. What Kevin Feige's or whoever, he said it's going to be 6 episodes that are about 40 to 50 minutes long.
Okay.
Whereas so is the Falcon and Loki. Those two shows same. 6 episodes, about 40 to 50 minutes long per episodes. But then She-Hulk is going to be 10 episodes, 30 minutes piece.
Okay. Which also makes more sense why WandaVision is also 30 minutes apiece, but there's more episodes. There's 9
Right.
episodes.
Yeah. So it shows like, yeah, he came and basically confirmed a few things. They didn't confirm. A lot of people was hoping Moon Knight would be hard, get a little bit grittier.
That is
I don't
one
think-
that they've been hoping is an
Yeah.
R-rated character down the line. That was one that kept coming up in the conversation. Wolverine is one that keeps coming up in the conversation.
Well, see, I'm in the folks. I kind of hope we've had our share of Wolverine.
Oh,
you
no
know what
doubt.
I'm saying? I kind of hope it would be dope if they fuck around and with Deadpool 3, instead of bringing a Wolverine over, they
Mhm.
bring around the X-23 from the
Okay.
the last Wolverine movie
Yeah, yeah.
and bring her over, because in the comics X-23 takes over as like the new Wolverine.
Mhm.
And I hope that's the route they go and bring somebody like that in as the quote unquote new Wolverine as
Right.
part
yeah.
of the X-Men, so they can give the group their time to shine and not just be like, here's Wolverine featuring the X-Men,
Yeah.
because that's what they did the first time.
Yeah, no shit. That is-
So I'd like to see them go that route. Like, we've had a Wolverine. Give it some time. You could bring one back at any point.
yeah, which we touched on this last week too, where give other characters a chance.
Yeah.
Even though I'm over here hyping the Batman today, it's like again, no problem with Batman, no problem with Wolverine. It's just like give others some time to shine. There's a lot of great characters. You have like 80 years worth of characters to draw from. But I feel good about Marvel doing it because they've been pretty good about getting new characters going. I know there was some confusion the other day when we were talking about a certain character where you're like, oh, they made a new Captain America who's like this Latina chick and all this other stuff, and she's just a different character altogether. Her name's Miss America or America Chavez, and she's going to be in Doctor Strange 2: Multiverse of Madness. So it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, cool, bring these new characters into the fold like already.
Right.
And I don't know a whole lot about her other than she has the power to punch holes into other dimensions. So it's like, fuck, that's badass. I can dig that. That's one hell of a power right there. So it's one I'll probably dip into her comics a little bit. There's not a lot, she's a new
Right.
character within the comics themselves. So it'll be cool to check her out a little bit, scope her out before Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Also, this is like news. It's like hella late at this point, but I just saw this the other day on the Marvel Unlimited app. They always update it from week to week with the new comics. They're not like brand new comics. They're always like a little backdated to give them time to sell it and stuff before it eventually lands on Marvel Unlimited.
Right.
And I had to do like a little double take on these because I noticed that they had a whole run of comics come out after Chadwick Boseman's death that had little tributes to him. The whole run, like all these comics had like Chadwick Boseman tributes at the top of the covers. It was like Chadwick Boseman, whatever to 2020. And I was like, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That
But
is
just a little aside for the day.
really
But
dope. R.I.P. King.
R.I.P. King for sure. Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty much it for the news and everything. We've hit our mark. It's about that time. Start wrapping up.
About that
It
time to
went by-
go.
went by fast today, I feel like.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
we had a couple things to talk about.
I'm glad all this news dropped like overnight because I know
Yeah.
yesterday we were like, the fuck are we gonna talk about tomorrow? We're
Right.
gonna have to wing it again. But yeah, the plenty to indulge on. I was trying to do a little guesswork today, with when some of these other series are going to come out, just because how they currently have it set up. WandaVision literally like ends, and the next week Falcon and Winter Soldier starts. And so if that's the case, and if they keep going like this, I was trying to figure out with all the shows they said in 2021 when they release, but it only put episodes as far as, well, I guess they could have they could stretch it to like September, October, unless they took a break in the summer. I feel like if they did like boom boom Loki like as the third one, and then
Yeah,
they take a
Loki's in
little,
May.
and then they take a little time out like for like a little bit, like a couple weeks, and then jump into like Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, What If, because otherwise it will literally be, as of yesterday, the release of WandaVision, it's literally going to
whole
be
year.
wall to wall every single week Marvel. And
Eh,
and if
not
not
mad.
Marvel, you'll have some DC dropping some stuff along the way as well.
True.
Great year to be a nerd. Great year to be a nerd.
Great year.
Superhero
Great year.
music 2021.
It's gonna be off the chain.
It's a
Be
super
off the
year.
chain.
It's a super year.
Doing super things.
But all right, that's it. I would
Super
usually
Saturday.
see you tomorrow, but
We're
nah,
taking the day.
it's
Taking
my
it
day
for us.
off. I don't do chasing Sundays no more.
So we'll see you Monday. Start your week
Monday
off with Mental
for
Health Monday.
yeah. So I so I will see you on Mondays. Me and our special guest. So we'll see you then.
Yeah, I'll be in the chat. Holla. Smooches.
Peace, guys.